Welcome to Motivational Humanity. You are not alone.
Have you ever felt like your phone is controlling you more than you control it? Like every ping, every notification, every scroll is stealing pieces of your peace, your joy, your clarity? Today we're going to reclaim them together. Not long ago, I met a woman, let's call her Lisa. Lisa was ambitious, loving, and endlessly giving. But she told me one evening, with tears in her eyes, that she couldn't remember the last time she felt fully present. Her mornings were filled with doom scrolling. Her evenings, replaying messages, comparing herself to lives that weren't hers. She had lost herself in the digital noise. She was always online, but never in life. And here's the thing, she wasn't lazy, she wasn't weak. She was human. Because the truth is, our brains are wired to respond to the instant dopamine hit of notifications. And when we give them too much control, we give away our mental clarity and our emotional bandwidth. The first step in reclaiming your time and mental clarity is simply noticing what's happening. Most of us move through our days on autopilot, scrolling endlessly, responding instantly, checking notifications without even thinking. And somewhere along the way, we start to feel anxious, restless, or incomplete, but we don't always stop to ask why. When you take a moment to pause and really notice, you begin to see the subtle ways that digital life is shaping your emotions, your thoughts, and even your self-worth. It's not about blaming yourself or feeling guilty, it's about curiosity. What triggers you to pick up your phone when you're bored? When you feel lonely, anxious, or unsure, how often do you reach for a screen instead of a conversation, a walk, or even silence? Awareness is powerful because it creates space between your impulses and your actions. It's in that space where choice lives, where freedom lives. When you observe yourself without judgment, you start to recognize the patterns, the late night scrolling that steals sleep, the endless comparison that chips away at confidence, the constant notifications that fragment your focus. And here's the thing, noticing is the first act of courage. Because it takes vulnerability to say, I see what's happening and I want something different. That's the moment you step off autopilot and step into your own life. Mental clarity, emotional resilience, and real connection begin there. Not when you have more time, but when you are fully aware of how you are spending the time you already have. Once you've noticed how the digital world is affecting you, the next step is learning to protect your time, because your attention is one of the most precious gifts you have. Setting boundaries isn't about punishment or deprivation. It's about creating space for what truly matters. Think about it. How often do you scroll through your phone while eating, while walking, or even while someone is speaking to you? Those moments feel small, but they add up. They chip away at your ability to be fully present, fully alive. Setting boundaries might look like turning off notifications for non-essential apps, leaving your phone in another room during dinner, or choosing one day a week for a complete digital detox. And it's not just about limiting your time. It's about declaring what you are choosing to give your energy to. Every time you decide to step back from the noise, you're telling yourself, I am worthy of my own attention. I deserve presence, peace, and clarity. Boundaries can feel uncomfortable at first because they challenge old habits and expectations from yourself and from others. You might notice a twinge of anxiety or guilt when you don't immediately respond to a message, or a sense of missing out when you aren't constantly checking updates. That discomfort is a signal that you are doing something courageous. It's in that space, right on the edge of discomfort, that growth happens. Every boundary you set is an act of self-respect. It's a declaration that your time, your energy, and your mental well-being are not negotiable. And over time, those small, intentional choices accumulate, creating a life that feels less reactive and more intentional, less fragmented and more whole. You're not just managing your time, you're reclaiming your life. After noticing the patterns and creating boundaries, the next step is to reconnect with yourself, with others, and with the world around you. Because digital detox isn't just about stepping away from screens. It's about stepping into life. It's about rediscovering the beauty of being fully present. When was the last time you truly noticed the sunlight streaming through your window, the sound of laughter, or the rhythm of your own breath? These small, seemingly ordinary moments are the ones that nurture your soul, and they often get drowned out by the constant hum of notifications. Reconnecting can take many forms. It could be as simple as taking a walk without your phone, letting your mind wander and your heart notice the world around you. It could be sitting across from a loved one and listening, truly listening, without glancing at a screen. It could be journaling your thoughts, dreams, and fears, giving voice to the parts of yourself that digital life often buries under distraction. Each act of presence is a reclamation of your inner world, a signal to yourself that your life, your emotions, and your relationships matter more than any scroll or swipe. Vulnerability grows in the space of presence. When you are fully there, without distraction, you allow yourself to feel joy, sadness, longing, love, without numbing or deflecting. Connection deepens when you offer your full attention, when your eyes meet another's and your heart meets theirs. And mental clarity isn't just about less noise. It's about allowing your thoughts and feelings to settle, to breathe, to be understood. When you reconnect with life in this way, you rediscover that the richness of human experience cannot be found on a screen. It can only be lived. The final step in reclaiming your time and mental clarity is to be compassionate with yourself. This journey isn't about perfection, and it isn't about never slipping up. There will be moments when you find yourself scrolling late into the night, when you break the boundaries you set, when old habits pull you back into the noise, and that's okay. What matters is how you respond to yourself in those moments. Too often, we respond with judgment, shame, or frustration. But real transformation comes from kindness, patience, and understanding. Compassion is the acknowledgement that growth is messy, that change doesn't happen in a straight line, and that every small step counts. It's saying to yourself, I see you. I understand that this is hard, and I am still here, choosing to try again. When you treat yourself with this kind of tenderness, you create an internal environment where resilience can grow, where courage can thrive, and where meaningful change becomes possible. Being compassionate also means celebrating progress, no matter how small. Each notification ignored, each moment of true presence, each boundary respected is a victory. These are the moments that accumulate quietly, creating a life of intentionality and emotional freedom. And the more you practice self-compassion, the more you realize that this isn't about denying the digital world. It's about claiming your right to live fully, deeply, and authentically. Every time you choose compassion over judgment, you remind yourself that you are worthy of peace, worthy of clarity, and worthy of a life lived on your own terms. And when that becomes your guiding principle, the digital noise loses its power, and what emerges is not just freedom, but a deeper, truer connection with yourself and the life you were meant to live. So today, I invite you to take your first step. Silence a notification. Leave your phone in another room for an hour. Notice the space you create in your mind, the room you create in your heart. Because when you reclaim your time, you reclaim your life. And the world doesn't just need you scrolling, it needs you fully present, fully alive, and fully connected. If this resonates with you, I want you to comment "I'm reclaiming my time" and share this video with someone who might need to hear it. Let's start a movement of presence, clarity, and courage together.